Hello, 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 everybody. How are you tonight? We have a special guest with us. We have an author who's also an actor, and he has a couple of movies out here today. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are? Give us a brief synopsis of who you are. Are
Well,
you a
once
storyteller?
again, thanks for having me. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. I was saying once
I
again,
hear
thanks
you.
for having me. Pleasure to come do the show with you. Yes, that's the nickname, the pen name, the pseudonym, storyteller. Um, I got that name writing books. I've been in the urban fiction book game for over 20 years now. Just recently, in the last 4 years, 3 to 4 years, I started writing scripts, movie scripts. Actually, we got a chance to shoot a couple of them. So, that's where I'm heading with the direction with the pen. I'm not going to give up books, but I will more focus more on writing movie scripts.
Okay, so that's your growth. You transitioned from just being an author to being a person who's does digital storytelling now, not just books. You have like your pen game has
Yeah,
advanced.
smooth
You're not just an
transition.
author, you're a screenwriter
Yes,
now, and you have a couple movies out.
correct. I don't know if actually it's not necessarily an advancement to a person's pen game to go from writing a novel to writing script. Script is to me a lot less work. A lot easier if you have the vision. There's a lot of things you don't have to write in a script that you would definitely need in a book. As you know, describing things, description things. For a script, you don't write what you can't shoot. In the book, you have to
Mhm.
write. So I'm just gonna give you that little part of that game.
So what's more challenging, writing a book or writing a script for you?
I, I think, well, neither one for me, but I think in a normal life, writing a book would actually be more difficult than writing a script.
Okay, because you have to give a
Because in the
visualization of
script,
the
like
event that's happening.
right, like I'm leaning on my counter right now, and in the script you just put leaning on the counter, and you don't put there's Krispy Kreme donuts here, Sara Lee bread, a salad, some steak, some ranch sauce for the salad. You don't write all that in the script.
Because we're gonna see it when we watch it. So when you write for a character, do you have that character in mind? Like for instance, when you write for a book and you decide to take that book and turn it into a movie, do you have a preconception of what you want that person to look like when you transition from book writing to a screenplay or script?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Usually, when I used to write books, I would put a known actor in my head, a Will Smith or Forrest Whitaker or Kelly Rowland or Sanaa Lathan. I would actually write something that I would think that they would, if this was a movie, how they would portray that character. Now that I'm in the movie business, I could write for Nikita if I want you to play a part. I mean, I know you enough to make it not work for you, to make it flow for you, so you're not doing a lot of, having to act. Um,
Right.
I'm right.
So it's
Yeah,
more natural.
it's more natural. That's what I want to do. I want to keep it more natural for the person, and it helps when you think about them and when you write something that you can see them doing.
Okay. Well, can you write me a character that's a villain? Because I'm always the bougie, the bartender, or the girlfriend. I'm gonna be crazy. Can I? I want to showcase my acting.
You
Can I be like a killer? Like
you
no.
you
Just
want you want to
messing
shoot
with,
somebody?
huh?
No, you want to shoot somebody?
Yeah. I want to be an evil chick. I want
Okay.
to. I want to do something that's totally not me. Something that's totally outside of the box to showcase my acting skills. Because when I'm always playing something that I can relate to, it's not a challenge in it for me. It's like, okay, action. I got this. I kind of want to be challenged
All
because
right.
I think it'll make me a better actress. To be honest with
Well,
you.
maybe I will. I know. I was talking to Steve yesterday, the other day before one of them days, and he got a new idea about something. He want to bring a couple writers together, or well, not together, but give a couple writers a storyline They do their thing, but maybe I'll have you the girlfriend of the character that I'm going to write because it's not going to be a good character; it's going to be a bad character. So maybe I'll have you the
Good.
girlfriend, and we do a little Bonnie and Clyde thing. Now he'll still have to
Yeah.
cash you for it, but I'm gonna tell him I
Yeah.
said I wrote that girlfriend part for her to play, and maybe he'll cash you for it.
Okay, well, I would like that. I would love that. Shout out to Steve-O and Ricardo Amore. We're gonna talk about him. I got some clips about him from him and Chaotic, from an interview that they did with Angela Yee that we're gonna play a little bit later. Have you done any ghostwriting for anybody?
Tons, tons of
Anybody
ghostwriting.
famous? Or you
Um,
can't tell?
why not? The first one I did was really fun. It was Roxy Reynolds, the porn star. I wrote her book, Secrets of a Porn Star.
Oh,
The latest one was Across the Tracks, Lil Boosie memoir.
oh wow. So how did you end up writing for Bootsy?
That was through Steve-O as well. They're partners on a few different things, and Boosie wanted a book. So, and actually, that idea had came around so many years ago. We just never could get it to work out and get it together. But so finally, a couple years ago, we ended up getting it all together.
Okay. So is that book out now? The Bootsy book?
That book, that book is out now, published through Simon and Schuster, the world's largest publisher. So that's another reason why I wanted to take that assignment as well.
Okay, how can people buy it if they want to look into it? How can they buy any of your books? Where are you available at?
Everything's on Amazon. Go right to Amazon, look everything up. Just put in my name, storyteller or Charles Burgess. Boosie book you have to put in the title, Across the Tracks. I don't know if Roxy's book's still available, but it was on Amazon, Secrets of a Porn Star.
Okay.
And
Okay.
those are just a few celebrities I wrote for. I've ghost wrote for authors over the last 15 years, probably over 20, 30 books, novels.
What was your inspiration for writing?
My inspiration,
Mhm.
mm, I think I always loved to write, but the biggest inspiration to really come out with it publicly was I was in the county jail for a couple of weeks and I wrote a story while I was in there and people was reading it and the guards were reading it and they were coming around every day. Did you write some more? Did you write some more? And for you to sit back and read something somebody wrote in hand by pencil all over the place, that showed me that I had a knack to keep people's interest in what I was writing.
So would
I
you say
remember this.
that
I remember this
storytelling?
story. I remember this story. It was called "Time Out for Justice."
Okay. Have you ever published it?
Nope, I
No.
never published it. I never published it.
So would you say that because you said that you started writing in the county jail, that place sucks, by the way. Would you say that storytelling and writing stories changed your life and saved your life?
Changed my life.
And saved your life?
Mm, saved my life. No, no. This was just something that was destined to happen sooner or later. Um, I wasn't in the county jail for anything criminal anyway, so I didn't, I didn't really need too much changing. I didn't
Okay.
really need too much change. I just had to pay child support more.
So they
So
actually lock people up for child support here in Wisconsin, huh?
people are in prison for child support here. You go to
Oh
prison
wow.
now,
That's horrible.
they'll give you they'll give you 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years. They don't just they lock you. You go to prison here.
So how did you get the
But I
name,
mean,
the
they
storyteller?
got a lot of programs out now though. So for dads that's listening to this, that's going through that, they have a lot of programs out now that help you with child support. Now there a lot of the stuff they're paying a lot of the back arrears for people. Now they're helping you get jobs. They're getting rid of child support warrants. If you cooperate with the program, so it's a little bit different now than it was when I was coming up 20 and 21.
I think you're referring to a program called the Fatherhood Initiative.
Yeah, the Fatherhood Initiative.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that
Absolutely.
program. It helps a lot of men in our community in general, not just black men, but men
Right.
who fall
Right.
behind in their child support. Because a lot of these men get a reputation of not being active fathers. They are active fathers. They're just in the house with the person who has them on child support, and that person isn't reporting that income to, the people who need to be reported to. Not all, but some. And then they end up with these arrears, and they're like, "But I'm taking care of my child."
Yeah, a lot of people got the misconception when something is court ordered, it don't matter what you do. You can give your child's mother $1 million and show her pictures of it, but you got to do what the court said and it has to go through the court. Otherwise, it's like you did nothing. So do what the court
Doesn't
says,
it have to go?
fellas.
Does it have to go through the court so that they can take a percentage out of it? I know we're off subject, but some people may be watching and they may want to know why does
Yeah,
it have
yeah,
to
we
go
just
through
giving
court?
some Jews. We just dropping some Jews. Yeah, they're going to take a percentage out of your wages, starting at 17%, and it goes down a little bit every child, but not much, but 17, 15. You got three, you might be at 12. Not saying that you ain't got to pay that 17. You got to pay that too. And you got to pay another 15%, then another 12%. Just say if you had three kids, you're all on child support. So just get
So
with the
basically, you
fatherhood
work to pay
initiative
child support.
programs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we talked about the books and we talked about Boosie. How did you get the name The Storyteller? Who gave that to you? Is that something you came up with, or was it given to you by somebody else?
Yeah, it was actually given to me by somebody else. She's like a family member to me. Her name is Yamina McIntosh. Um, Dr. Yamina McIntosh, actually, very prolific um, friend of mine, family friend of mine. Yeah, she's a great writer as well, too, great speaker. Does a lot of things for women. So look her up, Dr. Yamina McIntosh.
Okay, I will. And she was the one who gave you the name of Storyteller. Okay, so
Yeah,
can you tell me about your very first published book? What can you tell me about the first book you published ever?
Homies. Homies was the first book I published. I was asked to go to the doctor with my mother one day, and her doctor was way up in Nina Monash, and she had this book on the backseat of her car. It's called Sisters of
That
APS. Hmm?
where is Nina Manaskis or whatever? Where is
It's,
that?
it's up north by Appleton. But
Okay.
so
Shout out
that
to
gave
your
me
mom,
time.
the friend of the family.
Right. That gave me time to
Making
read
love
this
to
book.
you this spring.
So I was reading the book on the way there while she's in the apartment. And by the time we got back home, I had the book completely finished. And I wanted to write a rebuttal to that book by Zane. And yeah, so that's what ended up happening with Homies.
So are
Homies
you
was
talking
about,
about Zane, the queen of erotica?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so this book is juicy, huh?
Homies was pretty juicy. Pretty juicy. With a good storyline. I can't I would have to I've always thought about rewriting it. The company I published with is out of business. It was a scam company anyway, by the way. Publish America, those days were one of those companies, print on demand companies, one of the first ones out that was scamming people. But that was shit almost 30 years ago. I didn't know any better.
So do you still have like your hard copies,
No, I
or you
still know the
bought them?
story though. I still know the
Okay.
story though.
Okay. Have you ever thought about being a self-publisher? Because I know a lot of people are doing self-publishing now.
I am self-published. Uh,
Okay.
I've I've published America. You were still self-published. They were a print-on-demand company. They only print your book when you order it, so you're still self-published in those companies like Exhibitus. Those companies, you're still considered a self-published author. Um, I once signed with a company G Street. Did few books under them, but
Okay.
I was with AZ Publishing. They taught me a lot about the game. That was real early in my game. Right after that was my first, well, my second book. Don't say you do if you don't. So that was many years ago. Shout out to Patty Hallstrand in Arizona, who
Mhm.
taught me a lot about the books they sell, not just writing, but how to even make a book, how to even put a book together. I had an interesting experience with that company, so it was great. Um, But yeah, I'm self-published. Then I started my own self-publishing company, Underground Publications, where I had
Okay.
probably 6 to 8 authors signed under my label.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we rocked out for a while. We had a good time, and so now I just do what I do now. I just really focus on. I started focusing on my books.
Have you ever turned any of your books into actual movies, or are you planning to do that in the future?
Mm, Unfair Exchange was actually a book. I just never published it. Um, uh, Negligence is actually a book. It was called Negligence Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. That story took there's a lot of people's in Facebook groups. I used their name and they knew I was writing that story. That was probably 10 years ago I started Negligence. And then I
Oh,
just turned it into a movie. The next book I'm planning on doing, turning it into a movie, is Midnight Love.
wow. Okay.
Um, yeah, that's a story. It features my man John Powell from the group UNV on the book cover. Story about a stalker. I think it's a great, it's a great storyline. Yeah.
Mhm.
The book sold really well. It's about a midnight love DJ who runs a talk show. Like a smooth talking. What do you call that dude? Who was that dude name with the deep voice? Mellow mood dude.
Mellow
It's one of
Mood.
those.
What is his name? I cannot think of Melvin something.
Yeah, so it's like that character
Melvin
who's
Green or something like that.
Melvin Green, who ends up getting stalked by one of his listeners who always just chiming into the show. So it's a very good story. It's called
I
Midnight
might have
Love.
to.
It's available. Yeah, it's available on Amazon. It's been around
Okay,
for
so
a while.
you mentioned Unfair Exchange. So I do have the trailer for Unfair Exchange. I want to share that right quick, and then we can talk about it.
Go ahead.
So let me
Look, I had really hoped that by now you'd realize I'm not that kind of woman.
You have to watch real life play out in real time.
First of all, nobody knows about our little secret but me, you, and God.
Chad, what type of question is that? Of course, my wife is faithful.
Okay, so that was Unfair Exchange. Is that your first movie that's actually been released?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Actually, it is. It's great. Great cast. Great cast. Devo cast. Um, a lot of those actors are really doing really big things now from Unfair Exchange.
I can honestly say that almost every single actor, including myself, that was in Unfair Exchange are doing really, really well. Shameless plug, but without Unfair Exchange, I wouldn't have my producer's credit. I wouldn't have my assistant director's credit. I wouldn't have my director's or co-director's credit and everything else that I do behind the scenes. And I sure wouldn't have 12 movies. That was my third movie. And look at me now. That was 2022, and here we are at the beginning of 2025. I have
Yeah.
over doubled that movie, and I'm booked for other stuff. I'm just waiting on a shoot date. So
Yeah. I didn't even know it had been that long till I talked to one of my friends today, and he had a little role in Unfair Exchange. He was the guy in the library at the book signing with the Ricardo Moore jacket on, who told Erica Pickett that he would drink her bath water. Yeah, I
yeah.
ran into him today, and he reminded me it's been over 2.5 years since Unfair Exchange. I was like, man, time is flying.
So how is he doing? Is he doing any more acting? Because that's actually the scene that I'm in as well. I get my book kissed by Erica Pickett, and I swear that was the kiss of success. I tell people that all the time. Unfair Exchange is my breakout movie. I wouldn't take
Yeah,
nothing from it.
O is actually he's a master electrician. So that's his field. He's a master electrician trade by trade, and he owns a little bar here, nightclub, Versace Nightlife on 33rd and Villard. So but he's one of those people you need him, you can call him. Say, hey man, I need you to play this role, or I need you to do this. He'll be there.
Okay, I was told by little birdie that you've done some acting too. What movies have you been in front of the camera in, if you don't mind me asking?
Same one with you. Unfair Exchange and Negligence.
That's not the
Um,
only two movies that you've been in.
Trust Nobody
That's
1 and
out.
2. Trust Nobody
Yes.
1 and 2.
Okay,
Oh,
and a little
and
birdie told me
Ocean's
that you
8.
co-wrote Trust Nobody 1 and 2. You
Not the
co-wrote one
movie
of those.
scripts. Not
Oh,
the
you wrote
movie
this.
scripts.
Okay.
I wrote the novels. I wrote both the books. Not co-wrote. I wrote them. Trust Nobody,
You
but
wrote it. Okay.
Trust Nobody 1 came from a story that Steve-O had done maybe 20 years ago, and that's actually how we bonded and became good friends, was because of the Trust Nobody thing that he wanted to do.
Okay.
And
So you and
I
Steve
took
work
it. He
together
had
a
it.
lot.
Yeah, we worked together a lot. He had it in the movie script form already when we met. So I reversed it. I went from a movie script to a book,
Oh
and
wow.
then he took it back to a movie script after that. That
Okay.
was yeah, he had help from Miss Violetta Joseph helped him on that. Another
Okay.
good writer.
Shout out to Miss Violetta, Miss V.
Shout out
Cause
to Miss
she
V.
yeah, she does a lot of stuff. She has a cold pen game too. I give her that.
Yeah,
So shout out to
she
Miss
got a good,
Violetta.
she got a great pen game.
That's good. So you talk about Steve-O. Do you and Steve-O have any other projects that you plan on working on that you can speak on before we get into negligent?
Um, Steve-O now, Steve-O don't need me no more now. He can write himself. So, um, but yeah, he's got
I don't
some
believe
stuff
that.
he's working. Huh?
I don't believe that.
Oh yeah, Steve will call. But when
No,
you're
not
around
that
something
part. I
long
know
enough,
he cold, but I don't believe that he don't need you anymore. That's what I'm saying. That's the part I don't believe.
I'm just talking shit. But because he just hit me with an idea yesterday. So, but when you're around something long enough, and it's something that you like, and you can adapt to it, and you it comes to you naturally, and you already Steve already has a creative mind, because he does that music thing. He's been doing that for many years with the infinite recordings and all that stuff. So people who use their minds to create, it's just going from one creation to the next creation, you know.
Okay. I have an interview with Angela Lee Yee and Steve-O on lip lip service.
Lip
I'm gonna play
service,
that
lip
right quick.
service.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that. Just give me 1 second, and then we'll talk about
Clear.
the other
Do you
movie.
think that and it's a different day and age, and watching this movie, because we did have a chance to watch it, right? And by the way, Chaotic, I told you this earlier, you did a great job. That
Thank you
white
so
crust
much.
on your lips when you was in court,
Thank you.
she was disgusting. So that was your idea.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm on the wake up. Court is first thing in the morning.
Yep. So crusty
I'm
mouth in the morning.
pleading insanity, so I ain't brush my teeth.
You gotta look like that.
I'm
Play the
throwed
role.
off.
Go
Play
deep
the
into
role.
your
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
Deep
I-
into character.
I'm proud of him.
You took
I'm
a
really
deep
want to
dive into character.
I want to tell you right now, I'm really proud of him, because it was
Yes.
his first
Thank you, man.
time. Gave him a shot. He made me happy though. I was going through the edits when they sent it back to me. Everything
He
with
did
eyes
great.
and all that
You
stuff.
did.
Thank you,
I was
man.
like,
You did a great
okay,
job.
yeah.
We're doing another one. We
I
shoot
was about to
another
say,
one.
What's the
more-
next
more
one?
roles
Trust
up
Nobody
next.
4.
Yeah.
Oh, so trust nobody. That's so interesting that you would do these like a trust nobody, because I always feel like that comes from a certain place. You know what I
See,
mean?
that's one thing that kind of gets in between me and my wife, because she thinks that
There's some truth
how-
beneath the
Like,
yeah.
what is he thinking?
beneath the surface. There's some,
Yeah, she think because my past and how I live, you were because a lot of that part one was like, there's a lot of truth,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff that part one that I relate to, and so she really thinks that I'm like, this is a movie. I don't really trust nobody. I trust you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Really?
But yeah, so. Without saying too much, but yeah. So you trust nobody for her.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the star of Trust Nobody 4.
I love this for you.
Hey,
Because
guess
I'm gonna
what
be
else?
honest, you are such an actor already. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like this is
Yeah.
such your lane.
No, definitely. And then we finna do. Me and him got a project that we're doing. We're doing a series,
Okay.
Tyler Perry
like a
type.
real Tyler Perry
or like a
type.
scripted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote it out. I didn't write it out, but I voice
Gave up the
noted it out.
concept.
His story. It's
And
his
I
story.
let him hear all the voice notes. And then he was like, oh, this is good. We
Oh,
was
it's
in
your
LA.
story?
Yeah, we was
Because
in
you got
LA.
a wild, amazing,
No,
made
not
for oh,
not his
my
story, from
it's
his
it's
head.
a story
Is this your
I made
story?
up.
Yeah.
No, that ain't my story. And then when I let him hear it, he got his people. They writing it
actually
out
write it
for
out.
him.
See, this is somebody that match your hustle. These are the type
Oh,
of
yeah.
people
Yeah.
I think that is so important to have that. And you know, there's a lot of people who want to do something. Oh, I have a great idea, but they'll never really do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Steve-O and Chaotic talking about some projects that they have working on as well as Negligence. So how did you
Mhm.
guys come about building the cast for Negligence? Because you guys have a star-studded cast. You got a mix of Detroit's elite and Hollywood's elite.
Yeah, I
And
was actually
yeah,
surprised at the cast. You know, I just was the writer. And I say this like that stuff with chaotic, all that eyes rolling and mouth foam and all that. They did that and that came out great. So that's what I say about being creative and knowing chaotic. I don't even know if Steve knew chaotic was gonna do that. Like he said, he was proud of him. So that's about being creative and fitting a part and playing the part and being the character. And it brought to me, it brought a lot of substance to his part in the movie. It was great. But the cast, he said to me that he was going to, he must have really, really liked the storyline because he said he was going all out for it. So and when he say he going all out for it, he gonna go all out for it. And he did a great job with, you know, Omar Gooden and Clifton Powell, Tristan Farkas, man, Damaris Harvey was in there a little bit, Shelby Lay, Erica Pickett. You just name it. It's just
yeah,
he just rocked that
yes,
cast.
that movie was fire.
And
I'm
it
like,
pays off.
wow.
I think it pays off, and that's why, you know, when you got that many of people's favorite actors in one movie, how can it not go number one? So it pays off because now you got each of their fan bases who want to see their movies.
And it's the talk of the Tubi chat room. Everywhere
That's a
I
good.
share that post, I get good feedback. I don't care what group I share it in, I always get good feedback about how good the movie is and how great the casting was and who killed this part and wow, I didn't see that happening. I mean, the
Yeah,
feedback for that movie is always good. So you know
yeah,
I
I
got it
felt
now.
like that too. Yep, I felt like that too. I felt like the
Inspiration
feedback is
behind
really
writing
good.
that movie.
Um, it all started. I think that movie all started with the name IKEA. I was in a group in Facebook, and there was a girl in there named IKEA, and I had wrote a book called Cocaine Castle. You can find it on
Yes, I
Amazon as
read that
well.
one.
Okay, so everybody in that group had a part in that book, Cocaine Castle, except IKEA. So I said, well, I got to write another story because I had forgot about her, and that's when I started to write Negligence. And I still might do Negligence. I still might put the book out because it's really almost all the way finished. Now I could go back and add chaotic stuff in there, and actually the book would be finished. So I still might go back and do it as a book.
So have you thought about doing a sequel to any of your movies? Because I know there's no sequel to Unfair Exchange, but it is a cliffhanger at the end. So there is room for it to come back.
Well, it's really not a cliffhanger. It's really not a cliffhanger. But you can still do a part two, but it's really not a cliffhanger because of the murder scene. He kills him, and then it goes to Steve playing the lawyer, and she's getting everything that she got coming. So actually, he's dead. The
I get
husband is.
that, but it could be a plot twist where he didn't kill himself, somebody else killed him, and you can run it back. I mean, there are ways to get around that, or he could have shot himself and faked his death. I mean, because I honestly, when I saw Unfair Exchange, I did not see that coming. I was like, no, he
Mhm.
didn't.
But that's just
Oh
so. I
my
think
god.
that's so. I think that'll take away from it to try to create a whole another story. Then I think we get that part two wasn't as good as part one. I think we should leave it.
Yeah.
Um, I think we should leave it so we don't get that kind of, oh man, they just try to,
Okay, because I know some people that we thought were dead and Trust Nobody. Yeah, they kind of popped back up. I'm waiting to see if you pop back up in the Trust Nobody series because you were killed off too.
I'm
But so
dead.
many that was killed off popped back up in part 3.
No, them bullets hit me in the chest. I still feel it now. I'm dead. I'm gone.
Dead. You dead.
Yeah, I'm
So what
dead.
was your life being a part of the Trust Nobody series after you wrote the book? Because
Say
that
that
was like one
again.
of the first ones you did, right? You did that
Say,
before Unfair Exchange.
I think so. Yeah, I think we did Trust Nobody before Unfair Exchange. Yeah. Yeah. So what was your question?
I said, what was it like to be a part of something that you wrote? Because you wrote the books and then to see it come to life. Because, like I said, that was before Unfair Exchange. So that was your first baby to hit the screen.
I had a lot of fun with Trust Nobody. I had a lot of fun with that whole thing Steve was doing. That was just it was a whole new experience for me. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay, so you like to open up stories and end stories with wow moments. So how did you come up with the opening scene? Not to say what it is, but how did you come up with the opening scene for Negligence?
I didn't. That was thrown in by Steve. Like I said, there's some things in there that he brings to the table. Probably thinking of the whole script, thinking of the part where Tristan was accused by the uncle of raping the niece. So now, okay, we take that to the forefront. Now you got to figure out that story. So Negligence is a movie that you have to watch. You have to pay attention to it. I've heard nothing but good things, but I've also had people told me that it was hard to follow. I said, you got up and went to the bathroom, didn't you? So it ain't no you gotta pause it. Ain't no getting up, going to the bathroom and being away from the TV for 6 or 7
Can't
minutes.
be on the phone while you watch it. You actually have to focus because it's so many moving parts to Negligence, and everybody has
Mm-hmm.
something that they're being sneaky about. It's not one
Mm-hmm.
person in that movie that doesn't have some type of backstory. Like even with
And then
Chaotic, you
mostly
think that he's
everything
just this villain, but you find out
and then
why he
mostly
is the way
everything
he
is
is.
tied to Cruz, Tristan's character Cruz. So
Yes,
you you really have to pay attention to his character.
yes,
You got two plots there, but his character causes the second plot between the Master Spratling and his wife Erica Pickett. That's all
hmm
caused by Tristan's character. So you have to really
yeah.
pay attention to Tristan's character to see, like he's wreaking havoc, and why he's wreaking havoc, because he has a reason. Everything he did, he had a reason for doing it. Not saying it was
And the
right, but he
reason
had a
goes
reason.
back to the beginning of the movie, and if you
It
don't
goes
pay
back
attention
to
to
the
that first
beginning of the
scene, you
movie.
don't know what's happening. So if
Mm-hmm.
you miss that first part, that first plot, you're gonna be lost the whole movie. You have to go back and watch it, and you have
Yeah,
to
you
figure
might
out
not
what
be
was going
lost,
on
but
in
you're
the
gonna
movie.
have questions. You're gonna have
Yes.
questions. Why why this happened? So yeah, you definitely need to be glued to the TV when you watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to another clip that we have from the interview with Steve-O, since he's the producer of this movie, and he did the casting of this movie. I want to showcase some of the stuff he has going on as well.
Go ahead.
Mhm. And it's a different day and age, and watching this movie because we did have a chance to watch it, right? And by the way, Chaotic, I told you this earlier. You did a great job. That
Thank
white
you so
crust
much.
on your lips when you was in court,
Thank you.
she was disgusting. So that was your idea.
Yeah, because at the
Yes.
end of the day, I'm in the movie Negligence is out. Y'all know everything.
Number one.
Number one. Y'all follow me on all my social media platforms, Chaotic 305.
He
Chaotic
cannot
with
wait
a
to go
K.
on this date.
Listen, let me tell y'all something.
Or now.
Okay.
You wife. Love you.
We love you too.
Yeah, I'm
Negligence
going
is out right now.
He really left to
Okay,
go on
Trust
his
Nobody
date.
Part 4.
Coming. Part 1, 2, and 3 first.
Have fun.
Part 4 is coming. If you like comedy, go check out The Hole in the Wall, a great picture. If you
Okay.
like some more suspense, Unfair Exchange, Ocean View is coming very soon. Make sure y'all get that Ricardo Moore tequila. So black owned tequila.
We love it.
Everybody
So
been
we're drinking
supporting
right
that.
now.
You know, go to the website.
His mama
come
engraved on
get-
the side. I think that's so special.
Oh yes, my mother. It's named after her, Ricardo Moore. So Ricardo Love.
All right. I think we're going to be in the next movie too.
I was about to say, I need a role.
Listen, man,
we
listen,
should.
listen. Don't play with me because everybody tells that I love to get you lazy. I want to talk to Kim about some of her strips. So I love that too.
Scripts.
And
Yeah,
so-
let's talk about. I got
Let's
one
talk
for you
about
right
it.
now that you would love.
Period.
I
Okay.
wrote it over 10 years ago, and right now
It's
still
still relevant.
Trust
Yes.
Nobody, I wrote 20 years before I shot it. It was a big success.
Okay.
a lot of
See?
times.
We making deals happen up here.
Let's
You know what
go.
I'm
It's
saying?
one of the biggest
Lip
movies on
Service
Tubi.
Productions.
Oh, shout out to Buffalo 8, my distributors, Buffalo 8. Yeah, y'all shout out to
Buffalo
distributors.
8 did our mixtape documentary.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah?
look at
Okay,
that.
so
Yes.
Buffalo 8, Nikki over there, my girl.
Damn, 8.
We got a meeting coming up. Y'all better. You got another person gonna bring to the table, so y'all better talk right. We talking soon.
All right. All my projects.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
man.
All my
Wait,
projects.
let me get y'all say for sure. Y'all heard him say it. Y'all gonna be in my. If I cast y'all,
Yes.
y'all gonna be in the movie.
I'm
We in it. We in
yes.
it. We down.
I'm in
Yes,
it.
we're in it.
Yes.
I want to like be in a movie
assume-
setting somebody up or something.
Yeah, I want to be grimy.
Yeah, I want to be
I wanna
grimy.
You want to be villain?
Yeah.
Well, we got a series coming called Miss Moneybag. So
Okay.
it might
That
fit
sounds
y'all.
perfect.
Yeah, we're gonna be like the new Set It Off. Can we be like the new Set It Off? The
It's like lip service.
2025 version?
And I just want
A
to say
fresh version of Set It Off.
Yeah.
these
whole
past
new
couple
thing.
of episodes, we done patched up all kinds of things. I love
Man,
it.
listen.
Okay, so that was a little bit about Steve-O. He's the producer of the movie Negligent. How did you said that you guys work together based on the first movie, which was Trust Nobody 1, 2, and now we're getting ready 2 and 3, and now we're getting ready to go into part 4. How do you feel about that movie that you started growing into 4 parts?
I don't have any feelings about that. That was his original project. He had that, like he said, he wrote that project 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
the only feelings I got, I was elated that he even brought me on to it. That started a relationship for us. That was his baby. So I guess I was like the godfather of the baby.
So you would say that Trust Nobody was your blessing, just like Unfair Exchange was mine.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was my blessing to be able to work with a great guy and to make good friends. Because now he's almost like a brother to me. So we get to mingle more than just business.
So have you worked on any other movies with him that we haven't talked about?
Ocean's View. Actually, I got a scene in Ocean's View, so we'll see how that plays out. He said it looked good. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, Ocean View. I like the sound of that.
Didn't you do some work on Ocean's View?
I did.
Right.
I'm actually in it too. I got a small part that I wasn't supposed to have, but I'm the bartender in Ocean View and the Uber
Okay.
driver in Ocean View. But the
Oh, you
most
just
important
hustling.
part,
You just hustling good. You bartending and Uber driver. You hustling good.
I'm hustling good. All while being the assistant director. That's the movie I got my assistant directing credit on, which I'm grateful for.
Good.
It gave me a love for behind the scenes. I got to work with an all-star studded cast. I mean, these people together got over 200 movies,
Mm.
literally. And I got to learn from the crew because I was on set all 6 days. So yes, they shoot movies in 6 days. They were 6 long days, but I got to see it from beginning to end. And I'm ready to see how your part play out too. Not to give too much away, but yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's gonna be a good movie. Ocean's View was actually written by one of my pen brothers. Very strong pen game. Author Mr. Galena. So
yeah.
I can't wait to see. And then I think Ocean's View might be the first or something he had hit the screen. So we don't talk as
I
much
can
as we
tell you
used to,
one
but
thing. Ocean View is gonna be the talk of Tubi. That's gonna be the
I
talk
think so.
of. I know so.
I think so too. I think
Remember
so
what I
too.
told you when I read the script?
You're right. And it actually had some a strong cast of people pulled
Yes.
it together, pulled them parts together.
I mean, that cast had you looking at it like it was really happening. Like I was in the room peeking in certain parts, like, oh my God. I mean, the cast was so friendly. They brought their A, B, C, D, E, F, G game. The camera crew was on point. I love the way they shot it from different angles. I can't wait to see how it's edited together because they did that. And the
Right. Big
storyline is
shout out to BZ Jones and the crew.
yes. Shout out to BG Jones and the crew. Like I said, he has a couple of projects that's out now. I know he's pushing scripts, and I think he has Pillow Talk as well, a series.
Yeah, Pillow Talking Scripts, very good, both of them.
And then he's in Money and Power as well. So make sure y'all check him out. He's an amazing cinematographer, and he has a bomb crew. And I was blessed to work up under him on a movie Ocean View. So I'm really grateful for that because not only was I watching, I was learning. And when I asked questions about certain things that he was doing, because I am a director as well, he didn't have a problem with taking time out to teach me when he wasn't busy or explaining certain things to me so that I would know what, different angles are for and what camera B do, what camera A, B do, and how you tie everything together. So running up under people like that is gonna make me one cold director. So stay tuned because Ocean View is coming and it's on fire. I had mixed feelings about that movie though, to be honest with you, and you know why. We can't really say much about it, but I think a lot of people are gonna, especially a woman, is gonna feel the way I felt with that storyline because
But it's so much stuff out there. It's so much stuff out there. People realize entertainment, and I think it's very tasteful, not tasteless. And I think you get the story. You get a story. It's just not something that some tasteless stuff that's botched together and thrown out there for the people. So I think it'll do really well. I think it'll make a lot of jaws drop and do really well. And I think it'll be the talk. I think it'll be a hit, just like Negligence. Yeah, I do. So we're gonna see it, and it's not gonna be too. It's not gonna be too long. It shouldn't be too long. I know the edits are almost finished, so it shouldn't be too long.
I kind of figured it wasn't gonna be too long because I got my IMDb credit for it already. So normally when them pop up, the movies are coming right behind them. I know with Ocean View, to me, it's a lot of people's stories. We have a lot of what's going on in Ocean View happening in our community that's not spoken about. So I can see that movie shedding light on some stuff that needs to be addressed in some households. I can see that movie saving some life. I can see that movie giving people courage to get away. So not only is it gonna have you with mixed feelings, I think it's gonna open some eyes and save some lives as well.
Yeah, I think well, some good things. I know like you heard in Lip Service podcast, he just got some meetings coming up with the distributors. So hopefully some more things will open up, and if them things open up, it'll open up some things for me, and we might see Cry Me a Better Blues and Burnt Up and Teacher. We might get to see those things in the near future. So
we are.
One way or the other, we are. But I would like to get that one way going right away. So, I can open up some other doors too for other people, because that's one thing I like to do. I like to open up doors for other people. It's not about just me,
Right. Teamwork makes the dream work, and you have to be able to build a solid team, and then you can open different avenues with people like how Tyler Perry did. When he started out, he had a team and he used the same actors over and over and over and over again because he knew what they brought to the table. So sometimes you need to build a solid team so that you can build on that foundation and go to the next level.
Yeah, and it takes dedication too on other people's part, and that's one thing that made Tyler Perry. His people were dedicated. They were dedicated before the money got there, and I guess he kept his promises. Stick with me, roll with me through this, and you all gonna eat good. I was listening to something. They did. I was listening to something. He reached back for Debbie Morgan and gave her a part in one of these new series he got out, and she said when he called her to take the part, she said, yeah, well, I'll talk to my people. We'll get back to you so we can negotiate. And he told her, ain't gonna be no negotiation. I'm gonna make you an offer, and that's gonna be it. He said when he made that offer, she was like, "You're right, ain't no negotiation." So he paid her the most money she's ever made in her career. And Debbie's been around since I was a kid. She played Angie in All My Children when I was a kid. So she said he paid her the most money he ever made. And that's got to be something to be able to do that for somebody, to be able to, be that unselfish to like, here, here, you're an icon. You should be doing. You should be making this.
Most African American women in Hollywood are underpaid. You hear a lot of them speak on that, including Oprah and Taraji Henson. You hear a lot of that in that industry where the African American women is underpaid. And probably not just the African American women, they're just the ones that spoke out about it.
Well,
So, you know, it's
I don't think
really
Oprah was ever underpaid. I think Oprah was doing a lot of the underpaying. Shit, I
yeah.
don't think she was ever underpaid. I hear stories of her being the one underpaying.
Well, I know it was a lot of stuff with the Color Purple movie and the salaries for that. So if she was the one writing the check, she was the one underpaying everybody. So
Yeah.
you have a couple of projects that you're working on, getting out there. Burnt Up, Cry Me a Better Blues, and Teacher Teacher. Um, can you talk about the inspiration behind any of those or no?
Um, I don't know where the inspiration comes from. I can see something in this, and it just becomes the inspiration. I'm looking at a green salad in front of me right now. That could become the inspiration for the next story. So it's a writing is almost like a natural thing with me. You know, sometimes I get inspiration from dreams. You can start it. Sometimes I get inspiration from dreams that I have, but that usually happens after I start a story. Like I've had already like 3 dreams about Teacher Teacher. Um, and I'm able to wake up the next day, remember those dreams, and boom, jump on the script. I did
And
that with
that's
Negligence.
what you did with me as well. Remember you told me to
Hmm.
write Silent Dream, which I started and need to finish. And that was based on
Hmm.
a dream that I kept having that you told me to write. So Negligence was a dream as well?
It's some parts of it. Some parts of it. When I got to working on the script, some parts of it came to me in a dream.
Okay. Okay, and speaking of Steve-O, back to him, I know he has his Ricardo Amora,
Hmm. Hmm.
tequila, right?
Yep,
And I know
yep,
that
yep.
that's one of the Tubi favorites.
Oh yeah, you'll see it in all the movies. The Reposado and the Blanco. I actually do some tastings for that liquor because we're trying to go worldwide with it, get it in more stores, all that. So me and my fiance, we actually go around and do tastings on the weekends.
So how often do you do the testings and how do people find you? Do you post about them or
No,
do
we
you
go
just
to we're
pop up?
well, we're in like stores like Woodman's, and we're in a lot of the liquor stores. So we just go to the liquor stores, and people see us there. People see us there. You don't even have to. I don't broadcast and put it out there because I ain't trying to get somebody the same person drunk every week.
So when they come out and test it, they can get more than one sample, more than one shot?
Sometimes I do. Some,
Okay.
especially a buyer. If I know they're a buyer, yeah.
Okay, so is that the only brand that you do, or do you do other brands when you do the tastings, or is it just the
Well, like
Ricardo
I
Mora?
said, you know, he's partnered up with Boosie in some certain things, and Boosie has a cognac called Macartier. So if the stores carry the Macartier, we'll have a bottle of that to set out for tastings as well. And also sometimes he has a wine line called Midnight Love. Same
Okay.
name as my book, but there was no correlation. Um, and sometimes we do tastings for that.
Okay, so Midnight Love. So he has something for the players with the tequila, something for the bosses with the cognac, and something for the ladies with the wine. So he can win all around the table.
Correct.
I do want to get this Negligent promo out here. I want to play the trailer for Negligence before we get out of here. And I want to shout out Steve-O because he actually did the distribution in Buffalo 8. They did the distribution for a movie that's coming soon that I actually got to be a co-producer on, and I'm actually Tracy in that movie. It's called Feel My Pain. It's based on a life story of females. He's a local rapper here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we're gonna go into Negligence, and then I know you just got home, so I'm gonna let you go after that.
Okay.
I would really hate to get a conviction here and have that conviction overturned.
For people with metastatic brain tumors, there's no cure for that cancer.
Okay, so not only are you the writer of this movie, you're also in this movie, right?
Yeah, yeah. I played like a private eye role. That just yeah. I played like a little private eye role.
Okay. So how many movies do you have under your belt as far as acting?
Just like I said, Trust Nobody 1 and 2. I'm in that. I'm in Unfair Exchange. I'm in Negligence, and I'm in Ocean's View. I was
Okay.
supposed to be out. I should have been in is it Family Code? One of Swift's movies. I was supposed to play the landlord there. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I was supposed to play the landlord in one of his movies, and I think the landlord name was Childs too.
Okay, Swift Sloan, he's another good producer here out of Milwaukee. He has a couple of movies on Tubi as well and Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
He has
Swift's
a
got
movie
about
called
Swift probably got about 8 or 9 somewhere around there. He got a big number.
Yeah, he got a nice number. Swift has The Circumstances 1, 2, 3, and 4. He has All About a Check 1 and 2, and I'm in them. I'm in 1 and 2. I'm also in Family Code as well. So I'm in 3 of his movies. Let Me Be just came out a couple of months ago, and All About a Check Part
Hot
2.
series. That's a great series. Many people waiting on
Yeah.
part 2 of Let Me Be. That's going to be great.
Well, it's my understanding that that one's coming soon too, because they were doing some
Mm-hmm.
filming not too long ago. So we're
Yeah,
waiting on
it's
pins
shot.
and needles.
Yep, it's shot. It's already shot. Again, another. I think Beezy came and shot that one too. I think. Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
my little protege will be in that one. Deja D, she actually has a small part in Let Me Be the series. But before we get into that, All About a Check Part 2 got next. So we're just waiting on the release date for that. I missed the premiere, unfortunately, because I was in Atlanta, but I was told
I
about
got
my part,
some.
so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. I got some great history with Swift too. With the circumstances with the movies, I actually helped him with book 2 and 3 of Circumstances started out as a book 2 called Motivation.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, that's why we have
Mm-hmm.
podcasts, because I didn't know that. I didn't know who wrote Circumstances.
I didn't write Circumstances. I wrote a couple of the books it was based on. Swift wrote the first one, which was very good. I thought he was a great writer. He probably didn't need me, but it was a check, so I call that another blessing.
All about
But
a
yeah,
check.
all about a check. But yeah, it was great. Swift's good. He's a great businessman. That's what he is. So it was good to work with him on that. He has a couple other stories that I be pulling my hair out, wishing he released, wishing he filmed, shoot them that I wrote for him. But like I said, he's a great businessman, so he's probably strategically planning everything he does. I can see that in him. He's a strategic planner. So yeah, it was great to work with him as well.
So we can find Unfair Exchange and Negligence on what network?
Amazon Prime and Tubi.
And the Swift movies are also on Amazon and Tubi as well, right?
Amazon Prime and Tubi for all Swift Motion Pictures as well.
Okay, and I think he uses Buffalo 8 too, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. I know he uses the same crew as Devo when they do their stuff behind the scenes or whatever.
Yeah, he started out with a different crew. So those guys, they closely work together. So they're steady bouncing ideas off one another, and that's a great thing. That's what I'm saying about being around somebody and you're like minded. So it makes it easier to do business. So why wouldn't I? Sharing information is powerful, and that's a lot of things. That's something that we need to do more of in the African American community is sharing information. Stop always looking to make a dollar off each other. You know, that we can help each other become more powerful. One thing Oprah
Right.
said that I'll never forget. She said she make people rich because it makes her more richer.
Right. And even if you look at any of Steve-O's or Swift movies, they're in the same city and state. If you watch All About a Check, you're gonna see Steve-O in there. And if you look at
Mm-hmm.
the Negligence movies, I mean not Negligence, if you look at the Trust Nobody movies, you're gonna see Swift in there. And even
Swift was
on the
also
set of Ocean View,
Swift was also in Unfair Exchange. She had a big role in Unfair Exchange as well.
yeah, so you're gonna see them inter-exchange projects. Even on the set of Ocean View, Swift didn't make he's not in the movie, but he was still on the set of the movie. So it's really good to see two black men in the same city doing the same thing, working together. That's an example of how they collaborate at the top. So I really love that about that. I love that for them. You have any
Mm-hmm.
questions for me or anything you want to add to this interview before I conclude it?
No, I just put this A1 steak sauce on my steak. I'm about to get ready to eat dinner.
Thank you for taking time out to interview with us. I know you had a rough time getting to this podcast, but I appreciate it.
Well, hopefully next time I'm back for the second one, we'll be talking strictly about one of my movies.
We will, but up next is Ocean View because you know I gotta have you back when that release because that's a big project for the both of us.
Okay, I'll be looking forward.
Yes. All right. Well, see you later, and thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.